Oh, and it's still not there. Let me tell you,
okay.
it's still not there.
Okay.
It's going to keep getting better. But you saw some glimpses of absolute amazing. And so I'm excited for those glimpses to become permanent in the lineup.
What did you tell Marissa after her?
Oh gosh, I screamed in her ear probably because I was so excited. But it was just great from last week to really see an amazing beam routine and then getting her ahead of herself on the dismount and having a really big hop. And this time it's like, okay, we talked about it all week. It's like, stay with it. And she's done a great job on that dismount, really staying with it, keeping her shoulders back. And it's just like, you did it! All right, let's keep it going now. So it's just pure excitement for her today. Doing a great job for us.
Following up on Marissa, the 995 was the highest of any gymnast on beam this season. What do you think the key to getting that high score for her was?
We've changed around her routine a little bit as we've gone through the season. She, again, had a shoulder injury and we didn't have much time on the balance beam, and so she had a different series. It was like a 3-flight. Then she did a front aerial, and she had a leap in front of the front aerial, and we've taken that out the last 2 weeks. And so just kind of like slowly figuring out what's the best routine for her as we've been going forward. And the dismount has just been the biggest thing. She does the full off the side, and we're like, you got to nail that every time. I mean, it's a more simple dismount, and when you do those, you really have to stick them. And so she's been working really hard at finding that direction, so we're just excited about it.
After Sydney's performance last week, getting a 10 on the floor, do y'all have to maybe add a difficulty level to it for the judges to see that it's
No,
clean,
so
or?
the biggest thing too is after you have an amazing performance like Sydney did last week, you try to do it again. And so I tried to all right, normal, you don't have to do anything special because you just have this expectation on yourself to repeat it, and that's not going to happen week in and week out. And so I think there was a few little errors in the routine, nothing major, so that's why the score was what it was.
How close do you think Sabrina is to hitting a 10 on the floor? Because
Close. I
really
know.
close tonight.
I know. She's got the potential for it. She really does. And so there's just certain things within the routine, and she doesn't have the full control on that first tumbling pass. I mean, they're going to take the deductions where they see it. So it's very difficult to get a 10. It's very, very difficult. There's so many little teeny pieces of a routine that the judges are looking at, but she's definitely got the potential.
What did you think of Rachel being able to bounce back on floor after having some difficulties on bars?
I was really glad to see it. I mean, it wasn't the best meet for her last week or this week, but at the same time, she's been working really hard. And so for her to really find it last week as well. I mean, floor has been the event she's been able to come back from. It wasn't the best last week, so I think that was an improvement for her. And balance beam, to me, was a big improvement. I know she did have that fall on bars, but overall, she's doing 4 events every week, and she's doing a great job. And I think just being able to find those little details for her and not getting ahead of herself on the balance beam and on floor are most important.
With Marissa, after falling on bars last week, being able to bounce back on beam, what was your message to her throughout the week about consistency with having a good score on bars and
my message wasn't really about her consistency. It was about calming down. We kind of talked with them individually about what they need to do their best gymnastics, and hers was to really actually not think about it. And that sounds funny to not think about gymnastics, but at the same time, your body knows how to do it, and if you think too much about it, you kind of do what you're not supposed to do with your body. And so for her, it's just about not thinking about it and letting it happen. And so that was kind of our message with Marissa this week. It's just like, you got it. So whenever I saw her just getting tense, you could see her, I just shake her up. You got it. I just shake her shoulders and kind of relax her to get her out of her own head.
So you said she was tense. Is she tense in practice, or is it only when she gets out here on the floor?
Here and there. She gets in her, I'm excited to see her kind of relax a little bit more throughout the next few years. She's a freshman, so it's a very, she's from an elite level, environment where it's very strict and you have to do your job, and so I'm trying to relax her a little bit because her performance increases every time she just relaxes a little bit more, so I'm excited for her as we go forward.
On beam, the crowd goes wild when they see the moonwalk.
I know.
So what went into the decision of picking Sabrina for the moonwalk?
Yeah, it was, she's obviously a very good dancer, and you do have to have some sort of ability to dance to do the moonwalk. I mean, you can't just let anyone do it and let it look not great. And so for her, she's got that potential for it. And we just kind of asked her, and I know Mary Beth, one of the athletes who had done the moonwalk a few years back, had said, she thought Sabrina would be a good pick. So it was kind of in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, this kid knows how to do a moonwalk. Maybe she knows what she's talking about. So I kind of just asked her and tried to see who actually could dance. And yes, Jasmine can too, but she wasn't in the beam lineup at the beginning, so that's why Sabrina is doing it.
Questions?
All right, thank you guys.